you know, plan, and everybody plays the instrument differently. So the best thing you can do really is to watch other players.
Yes, and well, if you know how to read music, then you can write each note here. But most of the time we just play and learn by ear. Mm-hmm. So it's easier just to watch somebody play, and or somebody that would teach you. And well, sometimes if I'm looking at that accordion and you're teaching or whatever, sometimes people get confused because of
the mirror
watching
image.
Yeah. But once, if you want to just put that on the TV screen, then watch that mirror, and then it'll be the exact position that you're watching down like this.
Yeah. Somebody suggested to me one time that when you're learning, so that you're not sitting here doing this all the time with your neck, that you could practice actually by looking in a mirror and watching your hand position. But you're right, if somebody's out there and they are confused watching us play, you could sit next to your television and put a mirror there and watch it in the mirror, then they would have the image.
Exactly how it is.
The exact same image.
Yes.
So you can keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'd like to show you a song. We're going to take our friendly F scale in thirds. We're going to turn that into a La Paloma, and I'll play it for you one time straight without anything fancy. Now, Flaco and Max, why don't you guys play that the way you normally would, you know, to make it musical. I hate to see that stop. Well, there you just got a whole master's seminar on how to play the accordion. That's very good, Flaco.
Those trills.
Trill's probably one of the first ways you would dress up something as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. So you can start by moving your fingers like this. Then you can, as you go along, then you'll go faster. So it's a yodel there, you know.
That brings up
it's by practicing just those two. It's the same position, so.
Right, there's many ways you can practice your trills like that. You can do it like you just did in triplets. Mm-hmm. Or like say, just an indefinite trill. And then I saw you do that backwards too, like that was a nice effect. You took the basic, third, and then you played the top note first. You staggered the attack,
Yes.
Nice.
So actually, it's the feel of it. Instead of just playing dry, then it comes really the sentimental part of it. Doing like.
Oh yes, lovely.
Yeah.
And I heard you do the bellow shaking. See, all those things add color and flavor to the music and make it, make it musical. Very nice. See, I saw you do what we call hammer-on or brushing to. Some of that. And remember, it's not too good to play too much like this because you can do a lot more if your fingers are a little bit flatter. You're free to brush them or... And sometimes you lay your finger across two notes, you know?
It's the same thing as when you feel the typewriter or something. If you go it this way, it won't work. So you have to really run the fingers this way. So
And it's just like a typewriter. When you're learning to type, they tell you not to look at the keyboard.
Oh, yes.
Well, you have to.
It's the same thing.
You have to learn.
Yes.
But eventually, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Look.
Once you know where the keys are, I mean, it's like a typewriter. Then by the time you know it.
And you brought up something else too. On the trills, you started very slowly, and then picked up steam. I think it's always important for everybody out there. Remember to practice slow. If you want to play fast, you must first practice slow, because if you practice fast, you'll never get it up to speed, and it'll always sound sloppy.
That's true.
All right, Flaco, now that we've showed them, we've broken that down, let's show them some of those things again one more time in action so they can see it within the music. You guys do a little bit of Paloma again for me?
Oh, yeah, those, you mean those fields that
the same.
Okay. Yeah, in other words, what you add to extra to a song, it's like in food or something. Put a little bit of this spice here, spice there, and it tastes better.
It's a whole dish.
A whole dish.
All right. Yeah, I noticed that time. Like you probably saw that little glissando. I saw you do that, and then that ending was very nice. That what was that you did in sixth there, right at the tail end?
Once you get the hang of the scales, whatever, then you can create things yourself. I mean, you know. So it's not doesn't have to be that one,
right?
But you'll create.
I heard a little bit of this, or hammer on, that thing we talked about.
Yeah.
See, and there was that's the arpeggio again, with a little trill on it. Add one note. Then what you did another. Yeah. Now, this may be a good time to talk about these three buttons. We haven't mentioned them yet, but we talked that this was the harmonica starting here, and that these were additional sharps and flats. Now, Flaco has customized his accordion, so I better show you the factory one, because you're probably going to have a factory accordion. But at the bottom of the G scale, if you push out, you have an E flat. If you push in, you have a D flat. At the bottom of the C scale, if you pull out, you have a flat. Push in, you have a G flat. At the bottom of the F scale, if you push in, you have E flat. If you pull out, D flat. So that's how Flaco was able to get that sound. Whoops. And that song was F. If you add that together, you can make a chromatic scale. And that enabled you to do some of that, as well as things like that.
Like we're playing in F right here, It's in, going in. So there's an F going out, but you have to, like you got your F here, going in, and then you got your F going out, but in a different position. It's not the same position.
Well, I can point out something you've mentioned to me before, that a lot of the accordion is patterns, and when you learn the pattern, then you're set. What you just said, the F going out, if you bring it down here, it's also D, the same pattern. So if the song has a D chord change, if it's G, it's the same pattern. If it's B flat, it's the same pattern.
Right.
So that's something to know, you know, when you learn some things.
Yeah, that's
pattern.
going out. Okay.
Those are all going out.
Going out. So now it's the same pattern like going in. Your G, and then your C, and then your F.
That's right. And like the first 4 notes of the B flat scale is this little cluster of notes here. It's the same thing as an F scale. You see that same cluster? And that happens, you know, throughout the accordion. There's some patterns like that you can watch for. Now that we've looked into some of the techniques we've used on the Paloma, we're going to play it one more time. I'm going to play the simple melody, and for the more advanced students, Flaco's going to play all the fills and all the things that he feels comfortable, and you'll get a good picture this way. Let's try it, Max. 1, 2, 3. All right, we've covered a lot of stuff so far, but there's something else here that you might notice is, like I say, not everybody learns the same way or plays the same way or goes the same direction. And if you'll notice, I don't use the thumb strap. I don't like it. I like to tuck it in and leave my hand free. I'll occasionally use my thumb on the thing. Flaco likes to use that. He's got that well broke in, and tell him why you prefer that.
It's because of a real tight support, you know. So I won't use the straps too tight, you know. So it'll stay firm right there.
Right. I know every now and then I have trouble, like if I'm playing real hard and I'm playing out, this bounces around some, and that's probably helps keep that in place a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it depends how
it anchors it.
Yeah. So.
And we've been talking a lot about the right hand, and we're going to mention briefly the left hand and show you how that's set up. It's the same way as far as being diatonic, right? Changes as you go in and out. This button gives you the bass note, and this button gives you the chord that goes with it. And you pull out, so you have G note, G chord, D note, D chord. Down here, C, C chord, G, G chord. Down here, F going in, C going out. Up here you have E major going in, A minor going out. Next one you have D minor going out, and A major going in. And these two are B flat and B flat. The only two notes in the accordion that are the same both directions. And it's, like I say, it's not used too often because it's more of the European style, but you can accompany yourself, you know, if that's why they're there for. So that's the left hand. You can, you know, experiment with that and see how you like it, how much you like to use it. Sometimes at the end of a song, like maybe for emphasis, you know, you'll drop in the last, you know, the left-hand chord. And up to this point, everything we've told you has to do with the GCF accordion. Be aware that at least these accordions, the German ones, the Honers, also come in F, B flat, and E flat, which is basically just one step lower. And they also come in A, D, G, which is one step higher. So if you see an accordion that you want to buy, just because it has 3 rows, you may not be able to play along with this tape or play with the bands that you want to play with. Probably 95% of the accordions are G.
GCF.
And then there's probably F is the next most common second accordion, then the A. All right, and something else we haven't covered is we covered the scales in GCF on this